The big question of the day today is, why does the keto diet, the carnivore diet, and even the plant-based diet, even though they're all completely opposite, all work? And why do people get so many good results on it? In fact, why does all the whole food diets work, including the paleo diet, the South Beach diet, the macrobiotics diet, the blue zone diet? Well, there's one common denominator on why they all succeed. And that common denominator is that each one of these diets that we've mentioned eliminate specific foods from their diets. And the crazy thing about it all, every single one of those diets that I just mentioned, and every single diet, whole foods diet out there that works, they all eliminate the same exact foods. It's not rocket science. Now, they all do eliminate the same foods. However, each diet varies a little bit. A lot of them do unnecessary restrictions. For example, many of these diets eliminate healthy foods. For example, the keto diet has you eliminate fruit. The carnivore diet has you eliminate potatoes, baked potatoes, and beans, other whole foods. However, on the complete other side of the spectrum, we've got the blue zone diet, which is the opposite of the keto diet. They actually say eat very little meat on that diet, and they eat things like fruit, nuts, seeds, beans, lentils, all sorts of healthy whole foods. And even though they're all opposite, all of these diets work. And it's because, although they all have unnecessary restrictions, they all eliminate the same exact foods. So the big question is, what are all of the foods that all of these diets eliminate? I like to break down the foods into the following food groups. We've got animal protein, such as chicken, fish, turkey, and meat. We've got refined sugars, processed starches, plant-based foods like raw foods and other plant-based foods, and other animal products like dairy, eggs, and things like this. So obviously, we want to eliminate the food groups that are the most damaging to the body. And that's exactly what every single one of these diets do. So out of all of the food groups that we just mentioned, all of these fad diets eliminate the same two food groups. What are those two food groups? It's the refined sugars and the processed starches. These are the two most damaging food groups to the human body. And if you eliminate that, you're set. So what are refined sugars? The cookies, candy, cakes, things like that. The processed starches are a little bit more difficult. We got the bread, flour, pasta, anything that has like pasta in it. The crazy part of it all is that when you eliminate these food groups, there is such a wide variety and abundance of incredible foods that you can just absolutely indulge in. We're talking chicken, fish, turkey, beans, all the eggs that you can possibly imagine, melted cheese. You could eat melted cheese until you're blue in the face. The key is to eliminate these damaging foods. So what I did was I created an ebook with a list of all of the different wide variety and abundance of whole foods that you can eliminate. And we restrict you very little. Remember, there's all of these diets have unnecessary restrictions. So what I've done is in this ebook is I created a whole foods list of foods, and it has all the whole foods from all of these diets without any restrictions. For example, from the blue zone diet, you could eat beans, nuts, seeds, rice, all of these healthy whole plant foods. But then also, we're not going to restrict you meat. You can eat the eggs, meat, dairy, sour cream, all the melted cheese that you can possibly imagine. There's zero restriction here. So basically, this dietary approach eliminates the least amount of foods possible in order to be healthy in the long run. Why do we do this? Well, many people on these fad diets, a lot of people do have success, and you're always hearing about testimonials from people. Oh, I'm doing the carnivore. I'm doing so well. I've never felt better in my life. However, there's a lot of people who also fail on these fad diets over and over again. And one of the reasons why this happens is due to all of the unnecessary restrictions. The unnecessary restrictions are just endless. And the reason why this is important is because the more you eliminate from your intake, the more foods that you eliminate, the more detoxification that you go through. Now, detoxification is the same thing as going through withdrawals. It's just a fancy name for going through withdrawals. For example, when you've been drinking coffee for 30 years and then you just stop, what happens? You go through withdrawals. You get the coffee shakes, you get the coffee breath, you got the headache. You're just miserable, and all you want is that coffee fix. Now imagine eliminating coffee from your intake, but also eliminating cigarettes and alcohol all at the same time. It's going to be much more difficult for you than if you just eliminated coffee by itself. So now what you're doing is, if you've eliminated all three, you're going through withdrawals of all three substances, and it's going to be a lot more intense. And it's the same exact things with food. The more you eliminate, the more withdrawals you're going to go through. An extreme example of this biological and physical process is like a crack addict. It's a very sad sight to watch. When you see a crack addict and they're forced to give up their drug, you lock them in a room and they go absolutely crazy and mad as they go through the withdrawals of the heroin. They go nuts. They'll kick the walls. They'll be screaming. They will literally be crying as they beg for their fix because of how intense it is. Now, not as extreme, it's the same thing with food. And this is why many people unknowingly fail on fad diets. What happens is you get all excited about going on your new fad diet and you do it for 2 weeks with no problem. But then all of a sudden the detox kicks in, the withdrawals. You get those shakes. It's intense. It's like being a crack addict. It's almost like that coffee feeling. You can't go anymore. And then what happens is you just need that fix. And this is like the main reason why most people fail on fad diets. And this is the main reason also why we are restricting you the least amount possible within this diet. And that's why I've created in my new ebook this huge list of an abundant, incredible amounts of food. You can actually get my ebook at the link in the comments section below. On some video platforms, it will be in this description of the video below. So even though, because we are restricting you less, you're going to have a way easier time on your new diet, and you're going to go through way less withdrawals. However, since you're eliminating the most damaging foods to the human body, the cookies, the candy, the cake, the bread, you're still going to go through some withdrawals. And so what I've done in this ebook is I've created 2 transition methods that totally work. It's almost like a safety net to where it makes it super easy for you. So when you're doing your diet, your new diet, and you're doing great for a week or two, and then all of a sudden those withdrawals kick in and you just can't go anymore, like no matter how much whole foods that you eat, you could eat all of the baked potatoes and eggs that you can possibly imagine, so your stomach is down to the floor, but it just doesn't quench that desire for pizza. Like, you have gone mad, you have you have overeaten, and you just can't go anymore. You need that pizza. So these transition methods are kind of like your safety net. So what happens when you eat that pizza? What it does is it stops the detox. It stops the withdrawal process. It's like when you drink coffee, oh my gosh, the bad breath goes away. The headaches go away instantaneously. The shakes go away. And because it stopped that withdrawal process, when you eat that pizza, it is the best feeling that you can possibly imagine, because you stopped that nasty withdrawal process. It feels so darn good. And what's even more crazy, on top of that, not only do you get the bliss of stopping the withdrawal process. But at the same time, what happens? The caffeine in the coffee totally stimulates you. And the pizza will do the same exact thing. You're just like flying on cloud nine. Why on earth would you even want to continue your new whole foods diet? You're just absolutely flying. So then what generally happens is we feel all guilty, we fall off the wagon, and we just forget the diet. So these transition methods in my new ebook is the safety net. So when you get to that point to where you can't go anymore and you indulge on processed foods, this transition method allows you to just get right back on the wagon and continue on with your what that incident happened is it stopped the withdrawal process. It gives you a reset, and then you could just continue on with your diet for the next 2 weeks, and it's such an improvement compared to your previous diet, this one of these transition methods that I'm kind of mentioning now, that you're going to start getting results. When you go through withdrawals, you become cleaner on a cellular level. You start to require less food. It becomes easier and easier as you become cleaner on a cellular level to succeed. And then at some point, your body's just going to, after the 2 weeks and you can't go anymore as that crack addict, it just kind of falls away. And then there won't be any need for the transition. So these transition methods make it super easy to succeed. You won't even be noticing the withdrawals and detox. It's just flawless, and it makes your dietary journey super easy. So why on earth do we want to be doing this? Why do we want to be eating healthily? Why do we want to be eliminating processed foods, which are the most damaging foods to the human body? I mean, well, there's many reasons. Most people want to do it because they're going to lose weight, become more beautiful, and trust me, that happens. Your skin becomes more beautiful. It's an incredible thing. But one of the main reasons why I like to eat healthily is so I have an easier time in the long run. For example, many people in today's day and age end up incapacitated in the long run, or they become senile in the long run, and they need their children in order to take care of them in old age. Me personally, I don't want my children to have to take care of us. And the number one thing that we have power over in order to help us avoid issues like this in our elderly age is by what we put in our mouth. And if we can eliminate all the foods that are not on this Whole Foods list in my ebook, congratulations, you did it. You have the potential to be degenerative disease free, senile free, not incapacitated in the long run, to where you can be healthy through old age, God willing. And the crazy part of it all is there is a wide variety of abundance of foods that we've been mentioning all through this video. And there's so many other foods on here too. Rice, you could even eat. You could eat sushi. Ideally, you make your own, or you tell them, like, can you make me sushi? You know, a lot of the sushi places have sugar in the white rice. So, you know, my daughter, for example, she gets a poke bowl. She likes the poke bowls. And it's easier for them to not put sugar in the rice in a poke bowl. They can just cook some on the side. But the sushi guys, sometimes they have issues with that. You can make endless omelets. You could literally make a flat piece of like omelet with crazy amounts of tomatoes and unlimited amounts of melted cheese. It'd be like almost like a egg pizza. I mean, the possibilities are just absolutely endless. You guys, this is like a real thing. Improving our diets is very important for the long run. We don't want to end up senile, incapacitated, all these other issues. And diet is a big deal. Processed foods was just introduced to the human species not that long ago. And that's why there are so many issues today. I was on the Alzheimer's website, Alzheimer's Association website, and Alzheimer's from 2000 to 2010 is up 68%. In today's day and age, 1 in 3 people are dying with Alzheimer's disease or some form of dementia. This wasn't happening in the past. Back in the day, people were working in the fields till their end days. In Ecuador, Vilcabamba, Ecuador, where many of you know I go a lot of the time. I live there like half the year right now. We soon will be living there more than half the year. The 90-year-olds are working in the fields with the 20-year-olds and are outdoing them. It's absolutely amazing. You be walking down the street, you see someone elderly holding this huge sack of rice or beans that they just picked. It's very critical, I'm dead serious, to be improving your diet and being impeccable as you can. And this whole foods diet list in my new ebook is called The Whole Foods Diet Secret. We're kind of talking about the secrets here. Makes it so easy and effortless because we take the withdrawals and detox process out of the mix. Why so many people fail. It's like you think you did something wrong, but no, you're actually ending up being a crack addict. It's those physiological aspects that you go through to just where you seriously can't go anymore. But then we have the safety net transition methods. One is like one day a week, or we choose however long you can go, and then you could just pig out. And it's such an improvement on the processed foods. You can pick on the processed. It's such an improvement to your previous diet that you're seriously making incredible progress. Your friends will just be like amazed, like, you finally did it. You finally did the diet. It's because you're not forcing yourself and not giving up because you're crying because you couldn't do it. And it wasn't your fault. So anyway, either in the comment section below or the description of this video below, just click the link and it will take you to my website where you can purchase this new ebook of mine. It's only $29.95. For $30, you're going to get the entire Whole Foods list of all of the different foods that you can eat. The abundance of food. You could literally just like have 10 baked potatoes if you want in a sitting and just pour butter all over it. Butter's on the list. Salt, Celtic sea salt, just pour it right on there. And if you like melted cheese, just throw as much of that on it as you possibly want. And it sounds kind of crazy, like a health guy telling you to overeat on whole foods. It's almost like a third transition method to overeat on whole foods. The key is to eliminate the processed foods. When you eliminate processed foods and overeat on baked potatoes and healthy whole foods, as I actually utilize that method to improve my diet, and I succeed greatly with overeating. But as time went on, even though it could take months or years, it just kind of fades away because you become cleaner on a cellular level, as we were talking about. And the reason why this is okay is when you eliminate the cookies, candy cakes, the refined sugar, processed starches, you eliminate that from your diet completely. Overeating on whole foods, eggs, whatever you want, is such an improvement compared to your previous processed foods diet that overeating is such an improvement. Even if you do that, you're going to lose weight. Your skin's going to clear up. You're going to become more beautiful. All your friends and family members are going to be like, what? And they'd have no clue that you're overeating on whole foods. And again, the abundance of foods that you can overeat on, you can take like all the eggs you want with potatoes and melted butter, unlimited amounts of melted cheese. Oh my God, you're just doing it on whole foods instead of garbage. And instead of eating refined sugars, it's so easy with, you can simply eat fruit, dates. There's all sorts of natural, on our website, we carry these raw crunch bars. They're absolutely insane good. It's like cashews, nuts, and seeds drenched in honey with Celtic sea salt. The sweetener is sea, and so it's like you have the salty sweet taste in this guy. You can eat 10 of these if you want, as long as you eliminate processed foods. And these are available at my website also, therawfoodworld.com. These are the raw crunch bars. There's so many possibilities. It's endless. These olives right here. Oh my God. This is one of those grandeur flavors in the raw foods movement. They're bitter and they're an acquired taste of something, but like this will just take the taste of your salad to the next level. These are the dehydrated, organic Peruvian olives on our website. Anyway, go get that ebook. Read it, follow the whole foods list of all the abundance foods. When you can't go anymore, just do the transition methods. There's 2 transition methods. One's even easier than that. When you can't go anymore, just pig out on the processed foods for one day, hop right back on, and you have made it further than many people on this planet. Just real quickly, one other thing in this ebook is I created a superfoods encyclopedia at the end of it. This is like everything that we've talked about today with the Superfoods Encyclopedia is like the culmination of my life's work. And as if you're on my newsletter list, I do more research and studying on superfoods than anybody. I have the world's largest raw foods and superfood store. And weekly, I'm sending out 3 emails a week about new superfoods and talking about their benefits with all the clinical studies that show all the benefits. Many of these superfoods, like, have in clinical studies, like target certain ailments and diseases such as arthritis, Alzheimer's, hair loss, low libido, thyroid, candida, all these different things. And in my ebook, I created a superfoods encyclopedia, and in the table of contents, I list all of the ailments, like over 20 different ailments, like the ones I just mentioned. And they're all hyperlinked. And if you literally just like, let's say you click on arthritis, it takes you to the section of the ebook where it lists all the superfoods that are beneficial for arthritis. And it will share all of the content I ever created on arthritis. And it will share all the studies, the clinical studies of how people had success. It lowered joint pain, inflammation. They could get off of pain meds. All of these different superfoods, and you have everything at your fingertips, and it's so easy to bounce around in. And that's like the end of this Whole Foods Diet secret book. But the key to this book is not the superfoods. I mean, superfoods are great to target things, but the key is to improve your diet. That's what I wish for you the most. When you improve your diet like this is the best thing that you can do for your health and for targeting any ailment that you have. Superfoods are one thing, but it's nothing compared to an improved diet. If you can eliminate everything from your diet but what's on this list, most of your health issues are just going to fall away. Even if you're overeating, most of your health issues are just going to fall away. Like, just goodbye, gone. When you do something like this, things that normalize like automatically is your blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, it's just going to go right in line. Your cholesterol, if you have high cholesterol, boom, it just goes right in line. All of these different things are just going to fade away. If you have more of a serious degenerative disease, sometimes I've seriously seen it take it away from so many people. But even if it doesn't, you'll have a much easier time managing it. This is why we want to be doing this. It's the processed foods. It makes your life so much better. Not only does it make you more beautiful, but it makes your life better. And then what happens is, when you eliminate all of these foods and improve your diet, most of your issues are going to go away. But then at the same, if you were to target ailments with the superfoods at the same time as improving your diet, the synergistic effect is just exponential. It's mind-blowing. So go check out my ebook. This is like my life's work coming into culmination with my desire for people to help improve their diets and change their lives completely, and all of the plethora of information I have ever shared on superfoods. So go check it out, therawfoodworld.com. Click in the description or the comment section below where my link is to the ebook, and go change your life. Like, do this. You could do it. This ebook makes it super easy for the first time ever. I'm excited to see what what results you can get. And yeah, much love to everybody.